MCU now has a massive problem due to the fact that Johnathan Majors has now been found guilty of harassment and assault, which has led to Marvel to release Johnathan Majors so that he no longer plays the role of Kang the Destroyer and many of his other roles within the MCU. In which, to me, is a massive problem, as he was meant to be your next big thing, of your next big super villain, and following on from Thanos, in which is just some big shoes to fill anyways, but now you're having to replace the guy that you chose to basically take on the mantle from Thanos, in which is huge, because now the MCU is left with a few options. Option one, they try to replace Johnathan Majors, in which has been done before with Terrence Howard was replaced by Don Cheadle back in Phase 1 after Iron Man. They replaced Terrence Howard because of some disputes, or they didn't really get along with, I think it was Robert Downey Jr. So then that's when things started to change from then on. However, they did it again with the Incredible Hulk, with Edward Norton being replaced by Mark Ruffalo, in which both changes were very successful. So that leads me to think this is an option that the MCU may be considering, of just going, know what, fuck it, we have a backup option of just replacing the main guy, in which has been done before, and I can't see why MCU wouldn't consider this as an option. The option two would be just to replace the villain outright and replace him with somebody else, but to me that doesn't make any sense to me. It does for a lot of people. Let me know down in the comments down below, but to me personally, I think if you're looking at doing anything with the main character of a villain taking over and building up to your next Avengers movie, you cannot go, oh, let's bring in another villain. Because to me, if you bring in somebody like a Doctor Doom, which has been spoken about and rumoured, I think the whole year of you building around this big Kang character just gets wasted. And there's no point wasting that storyline. I know a lot of people have just said, let's move on from Kang, but then all this year has been for a waste. What are we building towards? And when you're watching back in a few years' time and watching through this gap in the MCU, and you're watching it as a catastrophe, because half of this build-up is for nothing. That's why, to me, if you're picking option two, one, you've got to have a reason why Kang isn't in the picture no more, because Loki Season 2 left it off where there was a potential gap there for the return of Kang, in which we all knew what was coming, really, that Kang's going to return later on, either in Deadpool 3, Loki Season 3, or was going to appear somewhat before the two big Avengers movies that were going to take place. However, we now know them Avengers movies are going to be changed somewhat, and that's why, to me, I think you don't rip up all your plans. You plan this for years and years. That's why you stick with the Kang idea, just change the actor. Option 3 is ending the MCU. And I know a lot of people might be like, well, don't you think it's time to end the MCU? It's so long in the making, and this should have ended after Endgame. I totally agree with all those people that say it should have ended after Endgame. I think it should have. It's proven it now that more than ever before that they should have ended it after Endgame. However, you cannot just end it after the Marvels. You cannot have the Marvels being the last film in the MCU. You cannot have the Loki Season 2 ending the entire show. You can't do that, in my opinion. There is still hope in the MCU for all those haters of the MCU that went too far and then left after Endgame. To me, there is still hope. No Way Home showed there was hope, because I think that is one of the best MCU movies, apart from obviously Endgame, Infinity War. And to me, I think if you're just going to leave it, push it aside, that would be a wrong decision, because obviously then the MCU is going to feel incomplete, and it's just going to be a whole waste of this year and the phases that came after. So what I would try to do is get to the next two Avengers movies and then call it a day. But everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Let us know down in the comments down below what you think the MCU should do here and what Marvel should do. Before we get on to the rest of the video, I just want to tell you guys, thank you for the support, because I've absolutely enjoyed making these videos for you guys. If you want to see more of it, all you have to do is press that subscribe button, as it would really help the channel grow, the community grow, and you can join the community by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that notification bell, and let's get back to the video. Do you think that they should continue with the role of Kang, instead play it by a different actor, or do you think that they should hire a complete new supervillain, like a Doctor Doom or somebody of that retrospect, to be able to take over Kang and take over other people? Or do you think the option 3 of just ending the MCU is the way to go? Let us know down in the comments down below, please, as I would love to hear your opinions on all this. This is just my take on this, and I want to hear your guys' take on what they should do with the MCU. But for now, I shall see you guys in the next one. Laters.